an executive governor to share his passion, to share his vision, and to be able to connect to people. Most definitely, during the electioneering process, the governor don't get to see even people that are voting for him, and some of these foot soldiers. Some of these commissioners, he may not even know them one-on-one, while election is going on. This is a very big state. But this, you can see what has happened today, beyond the academia and also all the presentation that's going to happen. The governor is able to bond with his people, bond with the permanent secretary, bond with the executive secretaries, bond with the commissioners. One-on-one bonding. You see what happened on the head table.
It has been Abdurrahim Adekilekun reporting.
Yes, the stage is set for the segment for real. And our guest on this program is no other person than the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment in the state. I'm talking about Oluomo Kolapo Alimi. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, our listeners at home.
Yes, you have just watched the report about the 3-day retreat for political office holders and stakeholders in Osho State. The government and the party already has its manifestos. Why do we retreat again?
Well, that question to me is rhetorical, because I know you know that perhaps you want others to know that wherever any government comes in place, or you get to any top, even school, there is usually a week orientation when
orientation.
First
Enlightenment.
given admission to ADME in 1989. The first week, virtually all those early months in December, was actually meant for orientation. The student union government was taking us around, posted, lecturing us. You don't fight, you don't stay, you don't do this, you don't do that. Similarly, when you get to any job, I believe strongly that when you are recruited to do this job, some of your mentor then will have taken you through the rudiment of this job. This is the studio, this is this place, this is how we behave, this is how we do it. They will not just ask you to go into that job directly, no matter the level of education, but this is practical. The same thing in any establishment, you have to be taken through the job. Now, listening to some of the speakers from the documentary we have watched, discovered that first and foremost, that retreat will be an opportunity for all the appointees to meet at once for the first time. We exchange numbers, we acclimatize with one another, because some you might have known one another before, some you are meeting fresh. So that's one. It was equally an assemblage of all the permanent secretaries at once. You meet them. Then the essence of the retreat itself was to take you through rudiments of a leadership. It's like a refresher course. How would I put it? That you are a journalist. If you are appointed today to come and man the Ministry of Information, fortunately the permanent secretary, Mrs. Abimbola Babatunde, happened to be one of you in this corporation. She will be able to tell you that it's different. It's different from coming to the studio. This one we are doing, yes, that's a line. But when you still get to another line, you discover that you need a fresh orientation to do that job. So the aim of that retreat first and foremost was first of all to get yourself acquainted to one another, and then the rudiments of what is governance all about is there. They will tell you these are the do's and don'ts. For example, let me tell you, that in executive council there are ways of doing things. I learned it when I was appointed first as commissioners. I never knew that. And so people that are coming in now, let me say people have just been appointed. Some of them have never been to the executive council. And so you need a retreat for them. Now the leadership training. People are coming to deliver papers in economy, in the real, how will I put it, leadership course, that you need to work as a team. In a team, you need to contribute. You don't say I'm the one. The overall in the team, you all work together to achieve a common goal. Nobody is superior to one another, and you must contribute. And you must not just discard any contribution, no matter how stupid, no matter how foolish. You must encourage everybody to contribute. These are the things. Then when you are appointed, you must learn. It is on the retreat that you know that you must learn how to work with your boss perfectly well, how to work with your subordinates, how to work with your peers, how to work with others. You understand it? So they will take you through a refresher course, because some people are just coming from engineering background. What they know is mathematics. You hear engineer. Some people know how to integrate. There's a course in mathematics known as integration. You understand it? There's a course in mathematics known as differentiation. So all these things. But when you get to administration, when you are in this kind of situation, you need knowledge, administrative knowledge.
Yeah.
That will be imparted. If you have knowledge, it will refresh your knowledge. If you have not knowledge, it will be imparted. So when you are talking of retreat, for you are getting to any new institutions, you have to be given a refresher course.
Yes.
That's the purpose.
Okay. According to a statement by the spokesperson to the Governor Olawale Rasheed, the governor rolled out principles which he called on appointees to abide with, pointing out that the realization of the 5-point agenda will provide a solid foundation for a new ocean. What are the principles, and how are these principles going to be carried out?
Some of them have been mentioned. It's not cast in iron. That's the welfare of workers. That's the number one. Governor, is during the electioneering campaign, he has made promises to the workers that I will do this and I will do that, and he has been doing it. He has been paying regular payment of salary. He has been paying part of the arrears of salary. He has allowed conversion to take place, promotions, and so on and so forth. So that is one. In terms of agriculture, we want to develop agriculture to a level that will make it to be enticed to young ones. When you go to villages where the real agriculture is being practiced, it's open.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Because agriculture is not so enticing
To the youth. Yes.
In fact, a farmer in the field will be praying that I don't want my children to do this job again. So, and in these days, when you see people going back to farm, you see it's either somebody that has been retired, a retired civil servant, or retired somebody that said, okay, I don't have any other thing to do, and the economic hardship is there. Let me support the peanut that I will be collecting every month with farming. So because it's not so enticing to the people, so that's part of the agenda of our governor, to make agriculture also enticing to the people. The issue of health, it's all important to know that our governor wants to prioritize the issue of health of the people, so that maybe we will have people, healthy people. You understand it? You mentioned it when the governor was talking about education. You understand it? Our educational system, very soon there will be educational summit. You understand it that people will be invited to come and look at it, holistic review, and say how can we make it better. And other things, all economic and all everything that will boost our economy, like infrastructure and so on and so forth. These are the agendas, not cast in iron. It's the summary of it is good governance. The summary of every agenda is good governance. So
yes,
that is what our governor has intention of being and is doing.
Yes, the governor mentioned corrupt practices. That is, he warned against corrupt practices. How easy is that going to be tackled?
It depends on leadership.
You know, Nigeria, as we all know.
I agree with you. I've argued it on there was a time I was invited on the debate on TPC, on the national television.
Okay.
So that was they were saying corruption should be fought from top to bottom. There was this argument they used to make, so I was invited to come out. I spoke extensively that people used to look at top just because they believe the only corrupt set of people happen to be politicians. Whereas it is not so. Like as a lawyer, when you see you want to file processes in court, you see little corruption, you go to the police station, you see little corruption, you go to a market, you see little corruption. When you add it together, it becomes holistic. That's why the problem lies. Everybody with your little space, you try to cut corners, you not say this is mine or now. After all, somebody has stolen billion. You try to justify it. Yes. Yes, somebody has stolen billion, you had it on radio, but you that stole just only maybe 10,000 naira, maybe that money is supposed to be spread in your department and given to all of you, you corner it and others maybe perhaps they later discovered that there was nothing they would do. But just discover how much is 10,000 naira, all of you are shouting. Go to National Assembly, go to Abuja now. So because we will justify that one. But for me, as a whole, just like your friend said, because are so embedded in our system that it's difficult to fight. But you have to start somewhere. In the system, if the head is rotting, then the whole body will not be okay. Our governor, to God be the glory, is well to do before coming to the government, and it's not the issue of the kind of well to do that we used to hear before. That somebody is well to do, but somebody will still be greedy to take all the resources. He might be rich, but be greedy. But this is a different scenario. Kongadeleke is from the family that they are rich and they are rich by excellence, and God has blessed them. There was a day I was talking that this family is a special family. Look at their setting. God is just blessing them. Maybe their grandfather or their great grandfather has done something special, or they themselves. Because look at their offspring. Look at Davido. I watched him when he was playing in the World Cup. He was to play in the opening match during the opening ceremony. Then he was bereaved. To go with me, they had to postpone his performance till the closing ceremony. That was a unique opportunity for a family. If a family has Davido in their family, you say, we have somebody. How come that Davido hails from a different? That is, music is in a different genre entirely, different areas, and is excelling to the top. You have made your life at 20s to the extent that you are performing for the whole world. What other honors do you need? Look at B-rate. You understand it? Yes. These are the offspring that ordinarily in some families, those kind of offspring will be somewhere smoking, drinking around, and it is the name of the family they will be using. You understand it? Yeah. That means there's something peculiar, spectacular about that family. You understand it? That they don't need to go extra mile. Do you want to go extra mile for your children? You want to get, doctor, did you want to go extra mile for Davido again? To do what? Where you just see his family, this is my father. Not because he needs money. He's making his own billions of naira. So now let's coming back. Yes. The point I'm making is that just as a reference, as a digression, that is to show you that the family has been so blessed to the extent that they don't need to dip their hand into any government or something. So our governor have to show leadership by example. And the moment the leadership by example is there, all other people fall in line. That is it. Because there is no memo, there is nothing you will do that is not filtered into the ear of the governor. Yes. You know that this is a man that will not collect any kickback from you, he doesn't need anything from you. So you have to sit tight. You understand? So the issue of corruption in this government, to me, as much as possible, it might not be 100% you, because you are dealing with human beings. Some people are so smart that what they will do, you will not be able to catch them. But the moment it's reduced to the barest minimum level, it will be infinitesimal.
Yeah, sir, very recently, the government did something very spectacular. It is unprecedented. It is seen to be unprecedented in the history of the state, telling the 3 senators representing the state to promote the ideas of what Osun State stands for by recommending and standing by the immediate past governor, running what happened at the twilight of their administration and at the beginning of the administration of Senator Ademola Adeleke. For the governor to have done that, is it, I want to ask, what is the aim of the governor? You know him so well, you are close to him so well.
First and foremost, I told you when you know Governor Adeleke very well. I was in APC before I defected to PDP.
Yes.
I got attracted to him when you were actually conducting election presidential tribunal case against him in 2018.
Yeah.
You understand it? I just discovered that this man, as at that I was studying, clean, with fear of God, straightforward. He doesn't keep malice. When that man go to tribunal, everybody with his own sections to greet every one of us with plain mind, knowing fully well this while his adversaries, unlike the other person in our party as at that time, the only time he came, I was urging, please, Oga, go and greet everybody, just to at least. He didn't. I won't go to that place. So in that time, I was looking at the personality of the person we were fighting. I was thinking in my mind, this man that we are fighting, because if you are fighting somebody with plain mind, with fear of God, you have to know there is a spiritual word. You can't realize that one. It's different if I'm being panky to you and you're just seeing everybody, everything is balanced. But if I'm being it to you and you're so plain, you're dealing with me with one and everything, the repercussion will be so huge. Now coming back to that one, it's only showing his own character. That's what I was trying to do. His plain like that. You made reference to Aki Panky before the election. The other man was also showing his own character. When you wrap over, will say, Bibire, will say Fuwura, in anywhere you might be. In this establishment that you have some people might be good, they might be good in their job, but their character, you just have to manage.
Exactly, to tolerate them.
You just have to tolerate.
Yeah.
That is the way God has created him. And some people will be naturally nice, that you don't even need to want to enter the office, you don't need to starting reciting psalm or starting reciting procedure. Some people are so difficult to deal with that you want to meet in front of us. Oh God, please depart the man that I'm going to meet. Please let me touch his hand. It's nature. You understand it? The nature of the past government headed by the leader of that government was what happened. The nature of Adeleke is what you are seeing. That's why I told you that even when he knew that you are working against, I personally, I was among the few working against us at that time. It was so nice to me that I was having a thing that this man, the way he was dealing with us, how will I do this? When he greeted us and he said, "Oh, thank you, how are you?" I would be thinking, "My man, please don't greet me again. You are not supposed to greet me. We are here. You are for this party and for this party. We are not the same party. Why will you come and be greeting me? Because greeting me as at that time was like giving poison. Because I knew the implication. You understand it? That has been Governor Adeleke, and he's doing it. And you will see. That's why I say he's a dancing governor, he's a dancing senator. He will not pretend. He is, whenever he's having a feeling, it will reflect. You understand it? And whenever he wants to mean business to do something, he will do it. But the summary of it is that he has actually, the ethos of our state, of our Yoruba person is that we must be our brother's keepers. We are all Yorubas. We are one and the same. We must behave well. What we can learn from it is that what Governor Adeleke has done now should be a lesson to those that are doing otherwise. Both for the past government, you could recollect that when Asiwaju was to come and do the presidential rally here, the APC as at that time applied for stadium. It was given to them. They later on changed it to Freedom Park. People said the governor should beat them. The governor said allow them. They didn't apply for Freedom Park. You understand it? They applied for stadium. They got stadium. They now moved to Freedom Park. Maybe perhaps they wanted to foment trouble, thinking that they allowed them. You understand? Now, the point I'm making is that when it was during the election, something, PDP applied for Freedom Park, it was not given. Applied for stadium, it was denied. Okay, let us use the outside of the stadium. It was denied. They came in the middle of night while the guardian was being sent. The people were sent away. You really have to go and use the secretariat, PDP secretariat. You understand it? If Adeleke had wanted to retaliate, and justifiably so, he would have said during the campaign, no, you two you could not come, whatever it will cost, let us cause trouble. These senators that are saying to screen our former governor, all the three senators now they are PDP. Even if they would pass him, they would have discredited him in the Hello chamber of the Senate and said, well, this man has gone. No. Senator Lele stood up and said the governor had a meeting. I was also in Abuja. On Tuesday. And the governor said, everybody support him. He happened to be a statesman in this state. He deserves to be honored. The former governor and so on and so forth. And that's what has demonstrated. They have demonstrated it to the whole world. So our governor is only showing his own character.
As the former governor reached out to Governor Adeleke, at least for the purpose of appreciation of what happened at the Senate.
Even before then, none to my knowledge that at least, well, I don't want to comment because this time is going to be past. But I used to say somebody, if anybody, you are working here as a family now. Any one of you should get to a higher post later and discard any of you. No, it's not a good character.
No, it's not good.
It's not good. Now, if somebody who work as a chief of staff under somebody, you understand it, who gets to a position and be disparaging his person, you know his character. He has never before. So this one, the time is short. It was just yesterday. We don't know whether it will have changed. I believe this one should be a sort of a wake-up call. Yes, I want to strongly believe that he will reciprocate.
Yes, going back to the 3-day strategic retreat and challenges, the state government, when the governor was ruling, governor in council, he has been doing a lot of things and people are applauding him. Now that he has commissioners, special advisors, and every ministry is manned by people, permanent secretaries among others. What should the people of Osun State expect now?
Better this, the more the merrier. I'm here this morning, I'm speaking. It's not going to be any press releases from the spokesperson alone. You understand it? Coming on here to explain programs of the government to the people as Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment. People will be able to ask us questions. will take it to the governor. Every week there will be executive councils. So people have people to, also people who have people to relate with now directly. People that are closer to the governor. Unlike before, government in councils, what does that mean? It means the governor, the deputy governor, the SSG, the chief of staff, the head of service, the accountant general, perhaps the PS of finance. Those are the people who are usually called government council. It is only those people who have access to those people that people can reach, that can reach the governor. Now, more people can reach me, I can see the governor. Yeah. Like before, if I had wanted to see the governor, I would book an appointment.
Yeah. Now,
as a matter of routine, because I've been employed, that is just it. I will call him, I'm coming, where are you, sir? Tell me, I have some issue to discuss with you, some things happen to the place. If something happens now, within the twinkle of an eye, less than 10 minutes, governor will hear it. Okay. Because he has people around. He has commissioner, he has social advisor. That's the purpose. You people will say, Chobande, Chobaluku, and we'll be able to tell him the feelings. And so the more supervision, more rules will come, more grading will come. There will be the agricultural development will be more robust. Yes. The other time I was
expansion of local products.
Yes, here was on this program. There was a program organized here in this station. A pensioner called that his own pension was not paid. Okay. He called him. I told him to come to my ministry. He came, and I directed him to the appropriate authority. You understand? Immediately. That's the advantage. Today anybody can equally say, okay, so things happen in our place, we take it down, I take it to the governor. You understand? Take it to the to the minister in charge, call the commissioner there and the permanent secretary. I was on the program, this issue was raised, and I've given them my word that it will be corrected. This is it, please do it. Because whenever I go back, the person might come back. So these are the things. It will be the more the merrier. More goodies are coming to the people.
All right.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa èdè ìbò láti sọ látàárọ̀ bọ́ báyìí àsìkò tó láti sọ èdè tí gbogbo wa gbọ́ èdè Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé èdè tí Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè fúnra rẹ̀ lọ sí ni àlejò wa lórí ètò yìí ni kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìròyìn àti ìdánilóye aráàlú Olúọmọ Kọ́lápọ̀ Alimi wọ́n ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan tíjọba gbé láìpẹ́ yìí nípa ṣíṣe ètò ìfinimọ̀lé fáwọn kọmíṣánná àwọn special adviser àti gbogbo àwọn tó dìbò òṣèlú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Olúọmọ Alimi ẹjẹ́ àti ibi pẹlẹbọ mẹ́rin jẹ kọmíṣánná nìyí tẹ́lẹ̀ kọmíṣánná nìyí báyìí tí a bá wò dáadáa bóòlù kò kọmíṣánná ṣe rí tá a bá fi méjèèjì gbéra.
Ìbéèrè yín kò tí ì yé mi dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n tí mo mọ̀ ní pé ẹni tí wọ́n bá yàn sí ipò kan wọ́n yàn pé kó wá ṣiṣẹ́ sin aráàlú ó gbọ́dọ̀ mọ rántí ọmọ ẹni tí òun ń ṣe. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run fún nǹkan kan. Ìgbà tí mo lọ sí ẹsẹ̀ jẹ́ kí n fi ṣe àpèjúwe ìgbà tí mo lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn kábíyèsí wa lẹ́yìn tó yàn mí tán yìí mo wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá kábíyèsí kan ìgbà tí wọ́n yàn mí ní 2011 wọ́n kí mi wọ́n ṣàdúrà fún mi wọ́n lè ṣe ìkìlọ̀ fún mi ìgbà tí wọ́n á padà lọ́sìn wọ́n á dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìgbà tí mo wá ń gbà báyìí ẹ̀fà mi létí ẹ̀kí mi ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣàdúrà fún mi àkọ́kọ́ ni pé ìkìlọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún mi Ọlọ́run ní kí n mú lò àdúrà tẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún mi Ọlọ́run ẹni kó gbà ní àpẹẹrẹ kí la fẹ́ fi mọ́ mú ìpàdùn àgbà ní ilé ìtútù ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé àdúrà yín ò gbà ní mo kí wọ́n ti gbàgbé mi mo sì lè wà láyé mo ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí èmi ìdẹ̀ ní rántí èèyàn mọ́ lẹ́yìn tó bá kàn sọ rí nínú ìtàn náà ọmọ ẹni báyìí náà máa ṣe nǹkan báyìí rè ó sì gbọ́ láti ìgbà náà Ọlọ́run ti gbé mi sí gbangba Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kí n fìgbà kan kúrò ńbẹ̀ ìgbà wọn lẹ́yìn ń gbúrò mi sí dáadáa ní àdúrà yẹn tó wá gbà yẹn olófẹ́ ilé ìtàn tó ṣe fún mi Ọlọ́run fi ṣe àpèjúwe nítorí abáníkàkà ní èmi èjì ẹ̀ta ní state wẹ̀ bóyá ló lè ju bíi mẹ́rin lọ èèyàn tó lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti ṣe commissioner ní ìgbà mẹ́ta so àkọ́kọ́ ni wọ́n á tún sọ fún bàbá yẹn náà bàbá wa kábíyèsí pé Ọlọ́run wá ṣe é débi pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ṣàdúrà fún mi náà mo lè ṣe pẹ̀lú tinútinú ẹ̀rẹ̀ sínú kankan lórí pẹ̀yìn náà ni wọ́n á bá báyìí ẹgbẹ́jẹ Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kẹ́lòmíì orí ìpèsè yẹn náà so ó jọ ṣiṣẹ́ fúnra wọn ni so tó bá yẹ̀yàn sí ipò kan ó gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ rántí ọmọ ẹni tó ń ṣe ó rẹpẹsẹ́ǹtì orúkọ ìdílé ẹ̀ ó rẹpẹsẹ́ǹtì orúkọ agboolé yìí ó rẹpẹsẹ́ǹtì orúkọ ìlú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀ kì í ọ́ ẹ̀pẹ̀ mí náà sì ni olú ọmọ tí mo jẹ́ olú ọmọ tí ìlú ẹ̀ràn Ọ̀ṣun mo lè jẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí mo ṣe kọmíṣánná lákọ̀ọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì ìgbà tí mo wá darí dé tí mo fẹ́ ṣe bá dé mi lẹ́nu ìdò yìí wọ́n gbogbo ẹni tó kò lè lọ mí yìí gbogbo ìlú wa ní pé a fẹ́ fi oyè ìtàn lọ́la mo kọ́kọ́ kọ́ pé mi ò fẹ́ jẹ́ torí mi ò ń do yìí mo bá fẹ́ do yìí tí wọ́n ti dé ó ti pọ̀ gan rẹpẹtẹ kó tán ti fi lọ tí mo ti decline ìgbà tí wọ́n ní afẹ́ fi dọ́lọ́ àwọn mùsùlùmí náà ní afẹ́ fún un lóye bá àwọn fámìlì gbọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wọn sọ fún mi gbà ọmọ yìí pé wọ́n fi họ́nù ẹ̀ ní pé ọlọ́ dáadáa ọ̀dẹ̀ pọ̀ dáadáa irú ìdájọ́ sí fún ẹ̀yìn wọ́n ní wọ́n ṣe fẹ́yàn kan rí nílùú yìí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́yàn kankan rí gbọ́dọ̀ wá sí ni wọ́n gbà gbogbo ìlú ló sẹlẹ̀bírẹ̀tì mi ọmọ ìjòlú ọmọ ìṣe bá dé họ́ọ̀lù tí mo lò fẹ́ná fún mi wọ́n fún mi lówó ní gbàndàgbò everything nínú àdùkà at least so ó mì pé mo tún gbọ́dọ̀ gáàdì orúkọ yẹn dáadáa ẹgẹ́ tiẹ̀ so tọ́máyéèyàn tí a bá ti rántí pé òun rẹpísẹ́ǹtì ìlú ẹ̀ òun rẹpísẹ́ǹtì agboolé yín ọmọ ìpáwọn ọmọ yẹn máa dé orúkọ ẹ̀ wàá mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní pé wọ́n á sáàfù lọ́jọ́kọ́jọ́ nígbàkúgbà èmi máa rántí yẹn rẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tájọ yàn wá ń sìn gbogbo náà wọ́n rántí pé àwọn kúrò mẹ́jọ kan àwòrán wa wà níbi tá a bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn ẹ̀rọ sọ pé ní báyìí òṣìṣẹ́ pé báyìí nígbà báyìí so bó ṣe rí nìyẹn mi ò rí àtọ̀jú pé anytime any day lọ́jọ́kọ́jọ́ wọ́n ní kéèyàn wá sìn ibi tá a bá dẹ̀ ti ní kéèyàn ti sìn ẹ̀dọ́ ajẹ́pọ̀ fẹ́ sìn lóòótọ́ ni ó sì kápá ó sì bí agbára rẹ̀ bá sì mọ́ ń bẹ̀.
ìfinimọ̀lé tí ìjọba ṣe fún ẹ̀yin tí wọ́n yẹ̀ sípò lẹ́nu ìjọba ìta yìí kí ni ẹ̀rí kọ́ ń bẹ̀ kí lẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lò bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ́ ní kí lẹ̀ ti kọ́ bẹ̀ kí lẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lò bẹ́ẹ̀.
ẹ ṣe sábà yìí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wò kó tí a bá lọ sílé ìwé sí èyí tí èèyàn bá kọ́ ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ lèèyàn ń lò lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ pé orí èèyàn pé èèyàn kàwé nìkan ìgbé tí èèyàn bá dé ilé iṣẹ́ kan wọ́n á kọ bí ó ṣe ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn ni kò sí bó ṣe lè mọ̀wé tó ibù iléèwé tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ bá gan-an mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé lẹ́yìn gbogbo nígbà tí mi fẹ́ wọ àrí ẹ̀mí ní 1989 fẹ́ lọ ṣe NC ìgbà yẹn odidi ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi méjì gbogbo December làwọn ilé gbogbo December yẹn àṣìṣe kankan gan virtually January náà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lecture fún wa àsanwó àrẹ́gísítà lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn náà wà fi bí odidi ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi méjì ṣe orientation àwọn tó ń jẹ́ olórí akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbà yẹn gbogbo iléèwé yẹn ṣe wà àkọ́kọ́ mọ̀ nígbà tí mo wọfẹ̀ náà the same thing náà ṣe fún wa ìwọ́sọ̀ ò lè mọ gbogbo bíi ní ìfẹ́ tóbi gan-an tiẹ̀ so orientation wà mẹ́ tí a bá wọ sẹ́kàn lénìí tó bá ṣe báńkì gan-an ṣe báńkì iléeṣẹ́ ilé ìfowópamọ́ ṣe irú ẹ̀ rí ọ̀tọ̀ ọmọ tí ń jẹ́ lẹ́jà ni ọmọ kìnìún ṣubú nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn wọ́n á ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pọ̀ ẹ̀mí wọ́n á fojú ìfọ́n ní faramọ́lé ìyẹn gbogbo sẹ́lú wà fún sẹ́wáyé tí sẹ́ ìjọba tó wá lé kínka ó yàtọ̀ gidigidi ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́yìn wá ní òun kéèyàn lọ rí di political science tí wà ń lọ ó yàtọ̀ síra wọn theory lẹ́kọ́ mẹ́ practical ni sọ ẹ́ rí pé ifọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ amòfin wọ́n á ní kẹ́ lọ sí chamber attachment ẹ tún lọ sí court attachment ẹ wò bá ti ń ṣe gangan orientation náà gbìyànjú tó o bá tún wá ṣe tán wọ́n tún wá lọ sí chamber míì pupils là ń pè wọ́n tún lọ kọ́ iṣẹ́ yẹn dáadáa practically lábẹ́ ẹni tí ń lọ kóòtù sí lọ sí ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn lójú méjèèjì lọ́tọ̀ mọ pé kí náà àwọn nǹkan tẹ̀lé fi sínú agreement tí ò ní dá wàhálà lẹ̀ báwo lẹ ṣe lè file the case tó òfin ní ba case ẹni tó gbéṣẹ́ fún ọ jẹ́ so tíṣẹ́ ìjọba wa lé kẹ̀kà wọ́n kọ́ ọ ni bó lọ sí fọ́gbẹ́rẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ sí mẹ́mú bó lẹ sí bó náà ti ń ṣe báyìí bó náà ti ṣe nesco bó náà ti ń ṣe báyìí bó lẹ sí gbọ́dọ̀ tó máa ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ ọ̀gbọ́dọ̀ tó bá ti wà níbẹ̀ kì í ṣe pé pòfẹ́sọ̀ ní mí eléyìí ní schools àtọ́gbọ́n ní kí iṣẹ́ tọ́jọ́ fún yín ṣe tí ẹ bá ti jọ yẹn sínú ìgbìmọ̀ tí wọ́n fi ọ̀sà alága wọ́n kà ní kọ́ ṣàkóso wọn ní òkú sí pọ́ dọ́gà wọn kọ́ kẹ́nìkan kà máa lè coordinate wọn ní ọ̀sẹ̀ wọn ní ṣe pé gbà náà lọ́wọ́ àṣọ àyẹ̀dí pé yes èmi lọ́gá tí ń bá wí ló gbọ́dọ̀ sẹ́ tó bá débẹ̀ wọn níyẹn ìpapọ̀ ní gbìmọ̀ tó tó bá yàn gbìmọ̀ kan sẹ̀ ọ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ pé gbìmọ̀ tó ń yàn sí wọn ìwọ náà gbọ́dọ̀ kópa mẹ́ ọ sì gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kí ọmọ yìí tó gbogbo ẹjọ́ ẹjọ́ wà mẹ́ tí ń kópa gbogbo yín ní ẹjọ́ yẹn síbẹ̀ pé kẹjọ dá ọpọlọ jọ nítorí bá fẹ́ nu kò ní lórí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jọ sọ tó kúnná gbọ́dọ̀ jọ yé yín sókè nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn ni wọ́n kọ́ yín níbẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ sì máa ṣe ẹ̀ tún wá mara yín ìgbọ́dọ̀ wá sí wà ń sìn ẹlòmíì tán fi jọyàn àti ìpàdé rí ibẹ̀ láti kọ́kọ́ pàdé àgbà nọ́mbà ara wa àmàlẹ́ ara wa àmàbá ara wa sọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá nídìí gan bá ṣe pera wa ọ̀kan nù gbogbo àwọn akọ̀wé àgbà tó wà ń bẹ gbogbo ọkọ̀ la mọ́ ẹlòmíì ọkọ̀ gbọ́ lórí lè kó wọ́n yẹn ní akọ̀wé àgbà náà ní ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pàdé ń bẹ̀ tó gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ni ó wà fún ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yẹn wọ́n kọ́ yín lóríṣiríṣi nǹkan nítorí tí mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọn ara ẹ̀ létí èyí tó mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ wàá mọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ó lè yẹ kí vat professional course wọn yẹn gbogbo iléeṣẹ́ ló yẹ kó máa wà torí everybody ló ní line of duty tó máa ń ṣe ọtí mọ̀ yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wá sí studio ní sin tẹ́ẹ̀nù ẹlòmíì ló studio ìṣèrí ní ìsìn wọn ò mọ bó ṣe rí ìdáwò lórí tẹlifíṣàn ní rí ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ wá ń léṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wọn bó ṣe rí ẹgẹ́ tẹ̀ so téèyàn kan bá tó ń tàn ní yóò lọ pìrìsẹ́ǹtì tó tó bá kọ́kọ́ wọ bí wọn kà àtẹ́kàkọ́ síbi tí báwo ṣé bí studio ṣe máa ń rí rè ẹgẹ́ tẹ̀ nítorí yorùbá rírí yóò ní ìlú rí èyí tó ń torí ìdílé irú nǹkan wọn yẹn ṣe pàtàkì adẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà wa pé ó ronú kan torí tí ò bá ronú kan níta fi ọjọ́ mẹ́ta kọ́ ní retreat yẹn ó lè take ẹ̀ ní èyí à yóò learn ẹ̀ o wọ́n learn ẹ̀ the job that's the truth ṣùgbọ́n you learn it hard way ni wọ́n ti ṣe error wọ́n ti ṣe mistake wọ́n ti ṣe error lọ́tún lọ́sì ọwọ́ ṣe ṣùgbọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ́ pé wọ́n ti pass through it practically wọ́n á lè sọ pé ẹ bá débi tó máa lọ lọ́nà bíi driver ni kò tó wà níbi o tó bá fẹ́ débi ó slow down bọ́ǹbù wà níbi o kankan ẹni tó ti rìn ọ̀nà yẹn rí ní òsọ fún ọ ìwọ́n tó bá ti rìn rí ọkọ̀ dààmú lọ tó kọ́ dáadáa lọ́wọ́ rẹpẹtẹ nígbà tó bá fẹ́ rìn gbà mí lọ tó mọ bó ṣe kọ́ rìn.
gẹ́gẹ́ bí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ àpilẹ̀kọ ti gómìnà wa Adémọ́lá Adélékè wọ́n mẹ́nu bà ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá nínú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bí ìwà náà dẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà yìí bá ṣe wà yìí nǹkan tí ó wà ní tẹ́gbọ́ wà ní ó kárí lé kákó ni báwo ni ìṣèjọba yìí ṣe máa pèka tí ó máa tẹ ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá mọ́lẹ̀ nípa ti àwọn kọmíṣánná permanent secretaries àti àwọn ètò kù.
ẹ ṣe rí ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó ti di omi ara àtẹ̀jẹ́ ara wa ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá wá ń pin àmọ́ ń pẹ́ sí méjì èyí tó wà lókè àti tó wà nísàlẹ̀ àwọn kan tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ wá jẹgúdújẹrá ẹni tí ó wà sọ́kàn wọn ò ní olóṣèlú wọ́n ti gbàgbọ́ pé olóṣèlú nìkan ni mo sọ léèwé pé wọ́n ti pè mí rí ní iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ńlá kan lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ pé kí wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí àwọn kan dúró lórí olóṣèlú parọ́ tó lè sọ̀rọ̀ àmọ́kọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ó ní òkèlè ọwọ́ ẹ̀wò sàlẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé àwọn èèyàn kéékèèké náà látọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ń ta ráìsì alápò ní ìsìn tó fi kíní yọ kíní méjì gbogbo tó kó síbì kan yóò wà infinitesimal wọn yóò tó lọ ráìsì 20 bags yóò sọ di 21 bags yóò sì ta ní iye kan náà ọ̀kan náà tá a bá gbé lórí ẹni tí ń ta gàrí lórí ẹni tí ń lu kóńgò ń dì lórí ẹni tí wọ́n ta oògùn tó oògùn fẹ́ẹ́ sípáyà tó dọ́gbọ́n ha tó chéńjì tàbí tẹ̀mí ìmọ̀ tàbí chéńjì páálí rẹ̀ tàbí àjáde ẹsẹ̀ fún drug náà táwọn kan tiẹ̀ wá páálí ike júìsì ike gbogbo ẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ rọ́nù ilé tí wọ́n ní mọ̀ pọ̀ nǹkan ní ọ̀rọ̀ ọkùnrin tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ó síkì àbẹ́ni tẹ́ ní ó ra ìkúbẹ́ǹtì kan sí iléeṣẹ́ kan tó lọ rẹ ilé tí ò ṣiṣẹ́ ilé tí wọ́n ti lò tí wọ́n ti bàjẹ́ nílùú òyìnbó tí wọ́n gbé sínú kẹ́ni tí wọ́n gbé wá tí wọ́n gbé dé tí ò sáàfù pọ́pọ́sì tàbí ẹni tí ó jó lórí dìpátímẹ́ǹtì kan tí owó tọ́ sí gbogbo àwọn ohun àtàwọn abẹ́ rẹ̀ tí òun nìkan dá owó àkótó wá náà ẹjọ́ wa tèmi lónà làá ní lórí owó tẹ̀ sọ ẹgbọ́n yẹn náà jí bílíọ̀nù l'Àbújá yóò mọ jọ́sífà rẹ̀ ẹnu rẹ̀ ó mọ dùn kò sí táyì jọ́sífà Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n ìwà àbàjẹ́ ni ìwà àbàjẹ́ ń jẹ́ débi ẹni tó yẹ kó gbé fáìlì tí ó ń wá àsìmátọ̀ fún tí ìgbà ṣé fáìlì ẹ̀ ní mú nǹkan kan wá ní ẹ̀ fún mi ní nǹkan kan sí ṣùgbọ́n léyìí táwọn aṣọ yìí gómìnà wa wá láti fámìlì rẹ pé ọlọ́run ti kẹ́ wọn kì í sì pẹ́ ó kí ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kì í ṣe fámìlì olówó kan tó sì mẹ́fà rárá o olóhùn kẹ́kẹ́ kálukú láàyè ẹ̀ fọ́mà gómìnà wa tó yẹ Adeleke ọlọ́run kẹ́ láàyè rẹ̀ bàbá tó bí gbogbo wọn ọlọ́run kẹ́ láàyè rẹ̀ màmá wọn ọlọ́run kẹ́ láàyè rẹ̀ Dr. Deji Adeleke ọlọ́run kẹ́ ìyá wa Dúpẹ́ Adeleke ọlọ́run kẹ́ Débọ́lá Adeleke ọlọ́run kẹ́ nígbà náà wàá kẹ́ generation wọn tó máa sẹ́wọ̀n ó kẹ́ generation bàbá wọn ó kẹ́ generation tiẹ̀ àmọ́ great grandfather wọn ṣùgbọ́n ó kẹ́ generation tiẹ̀ ó tún wá bọ́ sórí àwọn ọmọ wọn ó tún kẹ́ Davido láàyè rẹ̀ ó kẹ́ bí rẹ̀ láàyè rẹ̀ ẹ̀tíkẹ́tẹ̀ so tí a bá gbé irú àwọn èèyàn báyìí tá a bá gbé ẹ̀rán lẹ̀ ó yẹ ká mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan ní ẹ̀ ń sì tẹ́ ń ṣe dáadáa nítorí ìdílé yìí gómìnà wa ó fẹ́ lead by example ṣé tó lórí bá ti dúró dáa àwọn ọmọ èèyàn fall in line níbì kan tẹ bá dé establishment kan tí ọ̀gá àgbẹ̀ bá dé pé ó ti nǹkan kéèké ábìtì yìí pé aago 8 àárọ̀ ti tó lọ́fíìsì tó bá jẹ́ ilé ìwé ni tí principal ti tó dé pé aago 8 ó pẹ́ jù ó ti wà lórí assembly á ní lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́ rí tíṣà kan pé wọ́n wọ̀ láago 10 níbẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé ibi tó yẹ pé principal gan ò ní ráyè lọ sí school tíṣà tó bá committed ní ó dọ̀la aago 8 ara yòókù ti wà pé ṣe bí principal gan tí ó mú wa ò tí ì lè dé ilé ìwé so ọ̀gá wa tó jẹ́ gómìnà wa lásìkò tá a wà yìí ẹ tó ń sọ tiẹ̀ ní pé ẹ má kọ́ ti kọ́ náà o ẹ má rò pé ẹgbẹ́ nǹkan gba abìkan lọ o Dr. Deji tó yẹ chairman ó jẹ́ kí gbogbo ayé mọ̀ wípé fámílì àwọn oníjẹ́ kórúkọ rẹ̀ bàjẹ́ ẹnìkankan kó má gbé nǹkan tí ò bá ṣe gbé tí gbogbo èèyàn nílé dìfẹ́ǹdì ní pọ́pílíkì kó má gbé wá sínú ìjọba eléyìí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ìjọba eléyìí ó yàtọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn ni wọ́n ń dì pẹ̀lú wọ́n lè má lè pa kọ́rọ́fà rẹ̀ pátápátá ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ayé ò rí pé eléyìí yàtọ̀ tọ́lá lómi ń bẹ nígbà táwa ń léwé tẹ́lómi bá ń jíwèé wò báyìí àwọn tíṣà wa tá a mọ̀ ní tí wọ́n jẹ́ olójú àṣà gbogbo nǹkan ní àwọn rí wọn ò ní rí o kíní kan báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ káàkiri kí pọ̀n báyìí tẹ́lómi bá ṣe ìdàbọ̀ra kó kíní báyìí kó ṣe kí tíṣà wọn ṣe tó kódà tó bá dùn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀ kò ní rí kan wà báwọn ẹgẹ́tẹ̀ èrú àwọn èèyàn wa máa ń kéré ẹgẹ́tẹ̀ tó wà tíṣà kan bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a bá dúró tí àti everybody ló ti mọ̀ pé ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ayé ni so irú bí gómìnà wa ṣe wà yìí everybody ti sọ́sọ́ kò tó lè gírí ẹ̀dá wọn pé tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ lọ fẹ́ sáàfù tọ́sí fẹ́ gbókò ara rẹ̀ jẹ́ àti fámìlì àtòkọ̀ ìlú rẹ̀ o ọgbọ́dọ̀ fọ́lẹ̀ ní àti gómìnà bá fi lọ gbọ́dọ̀.
ẹ ṣeun ẹ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí láìpẹ́ yìí bí ìjẹta ni àwọn ọmọ bí àná ni àwọn ọmọ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin àgbà tí wọ́n ṣojú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí wọ́n bọ́ sí gbọ̀ngbọ̀n láti sọ pé tó gómìnà Adémọ́lá Adélékè ní káwọn ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún gómìnà àná Isiaka Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá tí wọ́n yàn ní mínísítà pé omi ẹ̀kọ́ náà ní Ọ̀ṣun náà ní gbogbo rẹ̀ bọ̀ pé àwọn kan tí ẹ̀ ní kò sí nǹkan tí a lè ṣe ju pé kí wọ́n ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe lọ pé bí wọ́n ṣe náà Oyètọ́lá ó di mínísítà ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá wo nǹkan tí gómìnà ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan ojú ò lẹ́yìn ṣòwò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan lára àwọn tí wọ́n ń tẹ̀lé gómìnà Adémọ́lá Adélékè.
ẹ ṣe é sọ̀rọ̀ pé Yorùbá pòwe kan wọ́n ní bíbí rẹ̀ ò sí fowó rà bá a ti sọ́nsìn kẹ́rì bí mo sọ nǹkan kan mo ra mẹ́nu bá tẹ́rẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń bá bọ̀ mo dáko Davido mo dáko bí rẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń gbá World Cup níjọ sí wọ́n fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn àjọ FIFA àgbáyé ní òkèlè ti Nàìjíríà rẹ̀ nígbà ni wọ́n lọ fowó rìn láwọn èèyàn gbogbo nǹkan Nàìjíríà ẹlẹ́ni wọ́n fowó rìn fún nǹkan àgbáyé wọ́n fẹ́ kí Davido kó wá kọrin fún wọn ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ nǹkan kan wá ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà yẹn kò wá lè lọ wọ́n wá bá sọ di ìparí ọjọ́ tí mo ń wò táwọn closing ceremony yẹn ọjọ́ yẹn ni mo rí pé Ọlọ́run ọba mà kú sẹ́ o eléyìí náà tún jáde nìdí Adélékè nǹkan kan náà ń ṣe dáadáa ìwà wọn ó dáa nígbà tá a ti mẹ́wàá mi APC tẹ́lẹ̀ kí n tó bọ́ sínú PDP ìwà tá a ti ń ṣẹjọ́ tako Adémọ́lá Adélékè ni mo ti rí pé ẹ̀ dáadáa ni tó bá dé kóòtù ní wọ́n wá kóòtù dédé tó bá dé kóòtù yóò kí gbogbo àtìkò kínní àtìkò kejì ẹ̀fọ́ àti màá náà báwọn ọlá ayípa wa gan wò tá a bá ṣe tán àwọn ọmọ rìn káàkiri kí la jẹ nǹkan kan àwọn ò sì ń jẹ fáwọn èèyàn oúnjẹ lókùn tí àmọ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn rédí ìjọba abala fẹ́ gbà nítorí pé àwọn ò wọ́rì wọ́n ń ṣe dáadáa bó ṣe yẹ kán ṣe ni so ntí bí kálukú mọ́ ni tẹ́ ẹ bá wo ntí Adémọ́lá Adélékè ṣe yẹn pẹ̀lú àwọn sẹ́nitọ̀ wa wọ́n fi hàn ibi tán ti ń bọ̀ àti irú bíbí wọn ni wọ́n ṣe wúyàn ló lè ṣe é ńgbà tí aṣíwájú tó jẹ́ president wa ṣe fẹ́ tó wà lórí campaign tó fẹ́ ṣe campaign gómìnà àwọn ẹgbẹ́ APC wọ́n ní kán fáwọn ní stadium wọ́n fún wọn wá lọ stadium yẹn wọ́n wá lọ occupy Freedom Park gómìnà nìkan fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ wọn ò sanwó Freedom Park nìkan fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ẹ wo gbà tí àwa ṣe campaign tí ẹgbẹ́ APC tí gómìnà Oyètọ́lá wà níbẹ̀ wọ́n ní ẹ fún wa ní stadium wọ́n ní kò sí ẹjẹ́ àlọ́ Freedom Park wọ́n ní kò sí ọjọ́ tá a fẹ́ ṣe campaign gan wọ́n ní gbogbo lọ́kadà gbogbo onítàmbóló wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ àwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe program kan wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rìn jọ́nà bí a bá ṣe di bá bí kálukú ni ìyẹn ò kì í ṣe pé ìwà tó wà lára ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan ni òun ni ṣùgbọ́n àpèjúwe tí gómìnà wa fi lílẹ̀ yìí yóò jẹ́ àpèjúwe fún gómìnà Oyètọ́lá àti gbogbo olóṣèlú tó nílùú wà báyẹn pé ẹja nǹkan kan náà ni wá ẹ̀yà kan náà ni wá ìran kan náà ni wá tó sì lu ọ̀gá papọ̀ lé ó lè papọ̀ lọ́la nígbà tí mo wo àwọn ọ̀wà táàfin wa máa ṣe bí ẹni pé kí ni ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹtíkẹ́tẹ̀ gómìnà ti fi àpẹẹrẹ dáadáa lélẹ̀ sí bóde mọ̀ pé àti gómìnà náà ni o àti gbogbo àwọn olóṣèlú ni o ẹ̀kọ́ ńlá ló jẹ́ fún wa.
ṣé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó súnmọ́ gómìnà Adeleke dáadáa ṣé àǹfààní kan wà bóyá ẹ gbọ́ tàbí pé gbogbo ti ṣẹlẹ̀ pé gómìnà àná pé gómìnà Adeleke fi ọmọ ṣe ń rìn àná àbí bó ṣe wà náà ló wà.
ẹ ń wo sàmì ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé mo sọ sìn mi ò fi bà á jẹ́ mi ò fi bà gómìnà àná jẹ́ ó ní sáìtì òun ò irú ìta ń sọ kò sínú wà tiwọn ẹ rí i pé làásùn gbà tán wà níbẹ̀ kò sínú wà tiwọn pé kéèyàn rí opposition kó mọ̀ yìí pé èèyàn náà níbi ẹlẹ́ra ara ni ká hùwà tó dáa sí ṣùgbọ́n àwọn náà ó ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ so èyí nínú ẹnumọ́sọ́nsẹ́ àwọn náà ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbi wà tí Adeleke ń wù ẹ̀kọ́ ló jẹ́ fún gbogbo èèyàn níbi náà tí ò sínú ìjọba
à ń kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lójoojúmọ́
ẹni tí dáa fi kú sẹ́wárì àná ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ èmi nígbàgbọ́ pé yóò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́ gómìnà àná gbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé bí wọ́n tiẹ̀ sọ pé dandan òun ṣe mínísítà níta ń pè ní humiliation ìbáṣẹlẹ̀ lánàá yẹn tí gbogbo yẹn bá dẹ̀ rí gbogbo àgbáńlá yẹn ṣùgbọ́n gómìnà Adeleke òjò ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹni yìí o náà aṣíwájú alóhà o gómìnà náà ni o a gbọ́dọ̀ ọ̀nà ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí bíbí tiẹ̀ ó ti ṣe tó yẹ kó ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀nù rẹ̀ táwọn bá tún kọ́ tí wọ́n bá tún wá ń ṣe kándú gbogbo yẹn náà mọ̀ lóyè tán jẹ́.
ẹ̀yin èyí wa láti rí ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ torí tá a bá ní wákàtí kan náà ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ ni láti ń bá adéfòrò jẹ̀wọ̀ pẹ̀lú kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìròyìn àti ìdánilọ́yẹ̀ aráàlú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Olúọmọ Kọ́lápọ̀ Álímì lórí ìfinimọ̀lé ọjọ́ mẹ́ta tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣe ètò rẹ̀ àtàwọn ìpèníjà tó ṣe é ṣe fún lójú kótó ló bá kó lórí ètò ìfúnṣẹ́jú kan péré kọmíṣánná kí ni ìmọ̀ràn yín fáwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.
ẹ ṣe àwọn èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun yẹn dáadáa ni wọ́n lẹ́nu ìgbà tí gómìnà wa dé ìfẹ́ tí wọ́n fi hàn ó lágbára púpọ̀ gbogbo ibi tí gómìnà bá dé báyìí àtẹ̀rín àtayọ̀ náà fi ń
yóò di rálì ni.
ẹ ti gẹ̀ẹ́tẹ̀ àtòrí ìjẹ́ eléyìí ó sì dúpẹ́ ó fi hàn pé gómìnà náà ń ṣe dáadáa ni àkọ́kọ́ ọbẹ̀ ní pé kí wọ́n túbọ̀ máa bá wa sọ́pọ́ọ̀tì gómìnà ká máa tì lẹ́yìn ká máa ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fún ṣùgbọ́n mo ti wá sọ nǹkan kan o ìyẹn wàá mí pé ká bá rí ibi tá a kù sí ká wọ́n sọ fún wa tẹ̀tánú òní káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ ṣe kò sí ní tó burú nu ká sọ pé ẹ ṣe dáadáa ìgbìyànjú oṣù bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá wo bí o tó bá ní ká wò á wò torí tí wọ́n yàn wá síbẹ̀ sí nìyẹn àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn ẹ̀kejì tá a dìbò fún gómìnà sí náà láti jẹ́ kí ìgbésí ayé ọmọnìyàn kó túbọ̀ dára kí wọ́n bá wa fọwọ́ ti gómìnà lẹ́yìn ní gbogbo ìgbà kí wọ́n sì máa sọ fún wa ibi tá a bá rí i pé a kù sí nílànà tọmọlúwàbí.
It is on this note that we shall be rounding off this segment on the program on Saturday morning treat. Special appreciation to the Honorable Commissioner for information and
Public enlightenment.
Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you.
Saturday morning treat continues with the commercial segment sponsored by Living Above Poverty Organization, LAPO. Happy viewing.
Hello viewers and welcome to Bridging the Gap. Patience Nauku is my name, and on Bridging the Gap today we are going to be talking about hepatitis. Before we continue, I want you to know that Bridging the Gap comes to you from Lift Above Poverty Organization, LAPO. And on today's edition, we will be talking about hepatitis. Like I said earlier, in Africa, Nigeria inclusive, hepatitis is a silent epidemic with over 90 million people living with the virus, and also it accounts for about 26% of the global burden. So on today's program, we will be talking about hepatitis. We'll be looking at the updates on the management and control of hepatitis in Nigeria. And to hold this discussion with me today, I have Dr. Tony Fabuya. Dr. Tony Fabuya is the Chief Medical Officer from University of Benin, and she works with the Health Services Department. So doctor, it's a pleasure having you this morning on the program.
Thank you, ma.
Yes. Okay, so before we go on, we are going to take the LAPO message. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from LAPO message. All right, doctor, let's start this discussion by talking about what actually is hepatitis and what is the rate of hepatitis in Nigeria.
Thank you. Hepatitis is a medical term that means inflammation of the liver, and this can result from so many factors. For example, from infections, from viruses, bacteria, parasites, and it can also even result from medications. From medications, it can be autoimmune, and there's even one particular drugs that so many people are abusing right now that can even result to hepatitis. That's inflammation of the liver, paracetamol.
Okay.
Paracetamol. Some people would say that 2 is no longer working for them. They will now be taking like 4 tablets at a time. Some even take 6 at a time without knowing the danger that is involved in the use of paracetamol if it's not according to the prescribed doses.
But when you say paracetamol now, are you talking about the analgesic, or let's say paracetamol, Panadol and all that?
Yes.
Pain relievers generally, or just paracetamol?
Specifically paracetamol. Okay. It's the same thing as that Panadol, just from different brand names, other brand names. So paracetamol especially is implicated in the cause of hepatitis.
Right. What about the rate of hepatitis? How common is hepatitis in Nigeria?
The prevalence rate is high. It's about 8.1%.
That's quite high.
It's about 8.1% for hepatitis B. Then hepatitis C is about 1.1% in the population, according to a research that was carried out by Nigeria HIV/AIDS Indicator and Impact Survey in 2018. So they pointed it out that hepatitis B is about 8.1%, while hepatitis C in adult population that are within 15 to 64 years of age in Nigeria.
Okay, so from what you're saying now, that means we can say that hepatitis B is more common in Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
And also hepatitis C.
Yes, it's also common, but not as common as hepatitis B.
Let's go on to look at now. Let's look at the symptoms now of hepatitis. How would someone with this condition or that is infected know that he or she is having hepatitis?
Thank you. The most common symptoms that is so obvious to people is the yellowiness of the eyes or of the skin. We call it jaundice. So that one is very, very classical about hepatitis. The other symptoms can be malaise, that's fatigue, weakness, abdominal pains, especially at the right side, the upper right side of the abdomen. Then you can have nausea, maybe decrease in appetite, and so on.
Okay. Okay. Well, you mentioned jaundice, and I'm just wondering, does it include this jaundice now? Does it include the at times when you get to the hospital when a baby is delivered, there is this they say that the baby has yellowish eyes or whatever, and they keep the baby, especially in UBTH, that I know, the baby might be with them there at the SCBU for like 2 weeks. They say that the baby has jaundice. Is that, does that mean that the baby has hepatitis, or is another form of jaundice we're talking about?
No, in the baby we have what you call physiological jaundice.
Okay.
And pathological jaundice. In the first few days of life, you can have their bilirubin level, which is an indicator that we use to check. So you can have it high in some cases, that they will even need to be admitted. Some will need to be placed under the phototherapy, and in a serious case, they can even carry out what we call end-stage blood transfusion to reduce the bilirubin in the system.
That brings me to a report I have here. It's talking about that according to this report, it says that the new infection rates are highest among children, and transmission predominantly occurs via perinatal routes. So what do we do now? So it appears that children or babies are more vulnerable when talking about hepatitis. So what do you think we should do to protect yes, especially when you consider this the issue of prevention of mother to child transmission?
There's need to encourage all pregnant women to register for antenatal service in a good hospital, because if they are registered, they will be screened for hepatitis B, hepatitis C especially. So by the time they are screened, they will be able to know if they have this hepatitis B or hepatitis C. and they will now need to be educated and be well informed about the implication on their sex and even the baby, and then to be able to now prevent the transmission to the baby after delivery.
I also read a report that talked about that the level is actually very low in Nigeria, and most times people don't even know, infected persons don't know that they have or they are living with hepatitis until probably they go for blood, that's transmission or blood transfusion or whatever donation, and that's when they discover that, or one eating or the other, but not that they went specifically to check hepatitis. Yes, they don't. Most people don't know their status in Nigeria. What do you think we should do about this? We should encourage and improve on our enlightenment, that's education, for the populace to be aware of the need for them to go for check. They shouldn't wait until they will not become sick, or that their eyes will be yellow, or that their skin will be yellow before they go for checkup. They should do it as a routine. For example, some school now, that's preschool admission medical examination, includes the screening for hepatitis B in their pre-admission form. That's the medical examination. So they made it compulsory for all their students to be screened for hepatitis B even before getting admission. All right, let's take a short break here while we bring you the faces of LAPO segment. And when we come back, we'll be talking about the consequences of untreated hepatitis and also strategies or way forward in the control of hepatitis in Nigeria. Please stay tuned.
Lapo you do well, Lapo you do well, Lapo you do well, you do well, Lapo you do well, you do well, Lapo you do well, you do well. I go shako, 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 I go shako, I go shako, shako, shako till I die. I can't tell them say, now Lapo they make me shako. Everybody money, why? Sweet money, not just money, because I can be able to put on in my pocket to perform a role of money. Lapo don't have life in my hand. I don't do any microfinance. Now only Lapo. Now it says, let me go straight where I'm going to. I'm a hairdresser professional before I joined Lapo. I joined Lapo in 2008 when someone introduced Lapo to me. The first name that I collected from Lapo, I used it to buy freezer. Started selling Coke, minerals, different kind of soft drink. When I paid that one finish, I collected another one. I added to my business to be selling clothes, selling lace, ankara and bata. Gradually, the shop started progressing. People used to complain about Lapo, say you can't use money of Lapo to do this without doing business. That's totally lie. If you know what you are doing, you achieve your aim. I can remember when I joined Lapo, we are living at this back of our compound. That is 3-bedroom flat there. Later, I told my husband I wanted to collect bedroom because he tell me, say you can, after everything, that can still collect bedroom. My husband agreed with me. That's the money we start use. It's Lapo that this house that I'm today now. Before we are living 3-bedroom flat. Now we are living 4-bedroom flats, apart from kitchen, store and dining. So every morning I used to remember and thank Lord that I joined Lapo, because the money that we used to tie this compound is through Lapo. All the money that I used to buy the door is through Lapo. My husband used to call me money. One day I call ask him, say, why are you calling me money? He said, because I'm capable. If not Lapo, I won't be able to be bearing money in my husband's hand. Because when he pay for children's school fees, I will supported him with food and the other things at home. It's through this business. Gradually, through Lapo, I build 3-bedroom flats for my money. You know,
If you go down there now, you will see another house that I'm building there. One is 3-bedroom flat, one is 2-bedroom flat in the back. I'm lucky also. My Lapo gave my son, baby of the house, scholarship. When he was at St. Matthias, 4 years, I enjoyed scholarship, 80,000 for 4 years. It is not a small money. Always I used to pray for Lapo, because what I became today is through Lapo. If not Lapo, who am I? You cannot say any relative that you can meet that you should borrow any money. They won't answer you. I'm into many business. I'm in the last year I joined event planner. I'm supplying minerals. Now I don't stay for one shop. If you want to do party, if you invite me, this throughout this month now, I'm engaged. I supply minerals, do many things, do decoration. What leads me to it is Lapo. My union is the first union that first celebrates Lapo in this Akwe. When we are here, I can remember it was a joy, my CEO there. My children respect me too much because I'm able to play a role of a mother. What causes it? Because of Lapo. If I say I should be counting many things that Lapo have done in my life, if I start from tomorrow till night, I can't finish it. So Lapo is good though. I cannot say it all. So let me just stop here. But I will say it again and say it again. The family where I have is Lapo. After God, I'm Lapo and my husband. Me and my husband, when I walk, Lapo can't join us. We can't be theory. So I really appreciate God. So I go sing it again. People come, they ask me, say, wetin dey make me shine? I come dey tell them, say, na Lapo dey make me shine.
Welcome back. We've been talking about the update on hepatitis in Nigeria with Dr. Tony Fabuya, and we'll go on now to talk about the consequences of untreated hepatitis and also the way forward. All right, doctor. So what are now the consequences of untreated hepatitis?
For example, hepatitis B.
Yes.
If it's untreated, it can become chronic, meaning that the individual will not be a carrier of the virus. Then by so doing, the individual can come down with liver failure, with carcinoma. I mean, that's cancer of the liver. It can result to cancer of the liver. It can result to liver failure. It can result to cirrhosis, what we call cirrhosis, hardness of the liver.
Okay, so let's now move on to talk about the prevention now. What do we do to prevent and control the spread of hepatitis in Nigeria?
One is screening. We have to be involved in screening. So is by the time you do the test, that's screening and testing. By the time you do the test, you'll be able to know your status concerning hepatitis. That's the viral hepatitis. You'll be able to know. Then from there, you'll be able to now seek for treatment.
Okay, that's hepatitis is treatable, is curable. That's what you're saying.
Some of it is curable, while the others, you just need to be taking the drugs to suppress the viral load and then to prevent transmission.
Lastly, what role is the government playing, or what is government doing in the prevention and control of this virus?
They are really doing a lot as per providing vaccine.
Okay.
A vaccine, because there are some that you can take the vaccine, like hepatitis B. You can take vaccine for it, but you can't just go and take. You have to first of all go for the screening and testing, so as to know your status. Then you will not be immunized against such. They provide a vaccine, and the enlightenment that we are also doing now is still part of the strategy. And then for an individual you can encourage others to go for the test and then to know their status. So awareness and education is very, very important in the prevention of hepatitis.
Some persons have said that the treatment is quite expensive. How true is this?
It's expensive depending on where you are receiving the treatment in the first case.
Okay, maybe private
or public or hospitals. And it also takes time. It's not what you just go for treatment maybe for 5 days or 1 week and you feel that you are treated. So that's more reason that they should seek treatment in a standard hospital like the government hospital so that they will be properly treated.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for taking our time to be part of the success of this program today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, ma.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we've been talking about the update on hepatitis prevention and management control in Nigeria. And before we go, I have here key facts about hepatitis that would interest you. What causes hepatitis? For hepatitis A, B, and C, we have the virus, hepatitis A virus, B virus, and hepatitis C virus. And then we go on to look at how long does it last, or how long does hepatitis last. For hepatitis A can last from a few weeks to several months. Hepatitis B can range from a mild illness lasting a few weeks to a serious lifelong condition, that's chronic. And then for hepatitis C, we say that hepatitis C can range from a mild illness lasting a few weeks to a serious lifelong chronic infection. And most people who get infected with hepatitis C virus develop chronic hepatitis C. Then we go on to look at how does it spread. How does hepatitis spread? For hepatitis A, we have here hepatitis A virus is spread when someone takes in the virus through close personal contact with an infected person or through eating contaminated food or drink, like Dr. Fabia has said. And therefore hepatitis B is primarily spread when blood, semen, or certain other blood fluids from a person infected with the hepatitis B virus enters the body of someone who is not infected. The hepatitis B virus can also be transmitted by birth to an infected pregnant person, sex with an infected person, and sharing equipment that has been contaminated with blood from an infected person, such as needles, syringes, and even medical equipment such as glucose monitors. Then sharing personal items such as toothbrush or razors, but is less common. This is less common. That's when you share personal items like toothbrush or razor. This is where we are talking about hepatitis B. Hepatitis C is spread when blood from a person infected with the hepatitis C virus enters the body of someone who is not infected. And we'll go on to look at if we have vaccines now for the treatment of hepatitis. So we have vaccines effective vaccines for hepatitis A and for B. And lastly, we'll go on to look at who should be vaccinated for hepatitis A. We have all children aged 12 to 23 months, all children and adolescents 2 to 18 years of age who have not previously received hepatitis A vaccine. And then for hepatitis B, we have all infants, children and adolescents younger than 19 years of age, and all adults aged 19 through 59 years. Also adults aged 60 years and older with risk factors for hepatitis B can be vaccinated. And for hepatitis C, we have here that there is no vaccine available for hepatitis C. And then who should be tested? We have finally who should be tested. We have for hepatitis A, the screening for prior hepatitis A is not routinely recommended. So people should only be tested for hepatitis A if they have symptoms and think they might have been infected. For hepatitis B, all adults aged 18 years and older at least once in their lifetime. And for hepatitis C, universal screening for all adults aged 18 years and older at least once in their lifetime. Then all pregnant people early during each pregnancy, at least one time testing for people with HIV, people who ever injected drugs and shared needles, syringes or other drug equipment, including those who injected once or a few times many years ago. That's the much we can take on this program on the updates on hepatitis in Nigeria. And I will encourage us to visit any health facility, especially you have a public health centers, public health facilities. You can visit them and do a routine check on your status so that you can know your status on hepatitis. Till we come away again, is bye for now. And don't forget that Bridging the Gap comes to you from Lift Above Poverty Organization LAPO. You can visit any of our offices or you can call any of our phone numbers to get any information that you need on this topic or whatever you want us to discuss with you about. Till we come away again, is bye for now.
Yes, well, welcome back to the studios of OSBC. Here we Okibale Oshogo from that commercial program. And we sincerely thank you, dear viewers, for staying tuned to the program Saturday Morning Treat. And we promise to bring you a better lined up segment for next week's edition of the program. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. I am wishing you a very wonderful weekend.